on, people? I hope you are enjoying all the things. Couple things. I'm going to be recording the podcast, and it seems like for Memorial Day, they're having jet fights at Miami Beach. So I've got the Blue Angels. I don't know. There's shit flying around. So if there are airplanes, I apologize. It's a work in progress. We're going to get things going in 2 minutes and 2 seconds here. Thank you for tuning in. Hope your day's going great. Did you touch some grass? Holy moly, how is everybody doing? I hope you guys are doing well. I am recording a podcast today, and I'm doing it live on a couple different venues at the same time. So we are just going to absolutely get right into it. I did want to point out, I always have these interesting Bitcoin visuals up, and this is one that is very interesting. It is called Chain Flyer. You can watch the blocks as they are being put together. Next up, if you guys do not subscribe to my Substack, why don't you do it? It's free. You can be a paid subscriber if you're a rock star, or you could go get some merchandise. That way you get something and I make a little money on the side. It helps keep everything going. I've got some good merch. This is from the Carpe Diem collection. Go to chrisberlin.com. Just check some stuff out. Support people that are out here literally every day bringing you guys content and information, because I care a lot about this space. I really do. And I think we are upon some magical things happening, and I want to educate people and take people on this ride because the destination is going to be absolutely spectacular. So let us get into some things. We have DGens. There was a DGen who just made a shit ton of money. He did it just by holding Pepe, Ondo, and Beam. We have UniToken. It has absolutely surged in the last 24 hours. The U.S. House of Representatives has passed the CBDC Anti-Surveillance Act, limiting the Fed's retail CBDC powers. This is an overall good thing for the crypto industry, and we are happy that they have done this. Most people view it as a positive thing. I am on the side of that. It does not preclude that they will not continue to develop some things, but it does change the tone at which these things might be developed. So I want to apologize because yesterday I missed an update. I did not do the podcast, but I did record an educational video. I'm doing an 8-part series on just helping people get into cryptocurrency, what it means, some of the pain points that we experience. So that's what I did yesterday. Some of the things that I wanted to tell you about from yesterday that I did not get the chance to. We have Damien Hirst. He is under some hot water. If you remember, he created a physical collection called The Currency. He then did a digital version of it. Supposedly there is some confusion about the actual dates that the physical pieces were made. They were supposed to be dated around 2016, and apparently they were dated quite a bit later. Listen, when you get old, you forget stuff, right? Time, it just blurs together, right? I don't know. That's how shit happens. We have the Pixelverse Chronicles. I did a write-up on my Substack yesterday. It is an interesting game. It brings cyberpunk 2D metaverse. It brings it all together. It's on Razer.co. It is interesting and an exciting new virtual experience if you are equipped to experience that way. So I do recommend checking that out. We have Milady NFTs. They have divided the NFT market as they just continue to crank higher and higher. Fantasy Top, if you have not played it, fantasy.top. It is an NFT collection game. It is interesting. You can gamble, you can win money, lose money. It is all associated with some interesting jackpots that are part of this other ecosystem that we are not going to get into today, but it is worth checking out. We have Wells Fargo. They are in some hot water. They are facing a class action lawsuit, supposedly for draining a client's wallet. Again, I am not a fan of Wells Fargo. I will let that be known right now. And you guys keep your eye on Polkadot. Technical analysis stating that it could do a giant jump. And when I say giant jump, we're talking a double, a 2x, chaos to clarity, noise to narrative. It is Saturday, May 25th, and it is time for some rare bits. Today, the Crypto Greed and Fear Index is coming in at a 76. That puts us back in the extreme greed zone. We will take it. NFT sentiment is also in the greed zone. We'll take that. Top crypto search term for the normies. It's getting scary. Their top search term is Pepe. That's what we're doing. These correlations between what the normies are searching for and what is actually happening in the space. When they get to the same thing, the top could be in for the moment. We also have the Crypto Greed and Fear Index. It's at extreme greed. This also means a correction is coming. Next up, top NFT search term for the normies is Ethereum ETF. So they are looking for some educated guesses as far as analytics are reporting. We have Bitcoin dominance. It's up on the 24 hours. Ethereum dominance has slid a bit. Total crypto market cap, it is plus 2.37 for the 24 hours, coming in at about $2.6 trillion. Now, before we get into some more news, I wanted to check some numbers for the nerds. So we are going to do that right now. And how do I do that? We are going to switch over here. We're going to look at the heat map for all the coins. You can see we just have some red just starting to trickle in. But for the most part, we're looking good. I've been calling that we are going to crab walk sideways, I think, till the end of summer. My hopes are not super high that anything is going to giantly impact the market, but on red days, to me, those are reload days. That's how I'm looking at it. We have Bitcoin coming in at $69,141. Ethereum is trading at $3,757. BNB trading at 603. We've been charting that in the podcast since about 300, saying it is going to continue to go up. I like it when it's above 600. Solana trading at 167. Do we see that reclaiming all-time highs anytime soon? So Jakey can stop taking selfies. Next up, we are looking at NFT volume by chain. This has been one of the most interesting analytics for me to watch. I report on this stuff every day, and it was Ethereum and Solana forever. Then we had Bitcoin move into the ecosystem and just dominate, just put its footprint on the ecosystem like it was never going to let it up. It did. Around then, Solana started to come back just because the ease of transactions, there was more liquidity in the system. Magic Eden opened the doors for Bitcoin and Ethereum, and it caused this crossbreed of activity, which I love. It has also caused these ecosystems just to continue to maneuver around which is top and which is second and third. So I find that really interesting. Then we also have the gaming ecosystems that I talk about this in the podcast, that summer is a big time for gaming ecosystem because people start to play the games when they're on vacation. So as we see that start to play a role in this, we have Polygon, Immutable, Mythos, Blast, Flow, all of these chains that are game heavy, kind of starting to work their way up the ladder. And something that is really interesting, so Ronin, which has Axie Infinity, that's currently at number 11. So the biggest online game probably in the world, right? And it's number 11 right now. And then down at the bottom, keep this on your radar as well, we have Phantom. So this is a network built, specifically for gaming. And it has not found traction yet. It has not found that name recognition. It has not been a market driver yet. Do we see a game coming out on one of these new ecosystems that will just generate this flow of attention, right? There has been talk recently about Ethereum not having name recognition like Bitcoin does. Bitcoin, the name recognition it's digital gold, right? That's huge. Ethereum does not have that. Solana does not have that. ADA, right? Figure out your messaging. Come strong with a footprint so people can devour it. You have to get the message across simple. Simple, simple, simple. Fuck the technical bullshit. Get the message out to the people simple. That's how we bring them in. They are not officially here till we stop saying onboarding. If we're still saying onboarding, we are far from being where we want to go. So keep that in mind. Looking at the heat map for the Ethereum side of things, it is really interesting because this morning, Milady Maker was the top left spot, which just means they had done the most volume in the last 24 hours. It is the first time I have seen them there. It looks like they're trading about 5.2 Ethereum. Let us click and see what the biggest market movers were. We saw CryptoPunks, Wrapped CryptoPunks, Bored Ape Yacht Club, Milady Makers, and Mutant Ape Yacht Club rounding out the top 5. Question. So CryptoPunks floor price is around 33 Ethereum. Has it bottomed out? Next question. Wrapped CryptoPunks are like the V1 CryptoPunks. Are these plays right now? Is the ball and the attention somewhere else, and it is a time to get in on these things? Bored Ape Yacht Club trading at 12.22 Ethereum. Milady Maker at 5.5 Ethereum. Mutant at 2.097. We love to see it. So actually, the only thing that floor price is up out of the top 5 in the last 24 hours are the CryptoPunks. So looking at top sales, and this is a new website that I'm starting to use it more and more. It is called NFTpricefloor.com. And I like it because they have just added Solana and Bitcoin to their ecosystem. And we're going to jump into those tabs in a second. But looking at the top sales, you can see that aside from one Bored Ape that sold for about 38 Ethereum, everything is CryptoPunks. Everything is CryptoPunks. Man, it's just this is CryptoPunks. It's the thing. If you are into digital art, that is the asset to have for the long play, in my view. In my view, taking a coffee horn. Looking at the heat map for Solana, you can see we've got some. If you're not following along on the video, I am doing this on YouTube, on X, and I don't know, Kick It or Twix or one of those other ones. But you can find it, and it's nice to look at it with the visuals. So you can see we got all the colors represented. Anything we want to double click on? Nope, but we are going to go to the next tab and look at some stuff. So yes, there is stuff we want to double click on. Top 5 movers: Famous Fox Federation, Mutant Mon, Soul, SPL 20s, The Backwoods, and Magic Ticket rounding out the top 5. I'm not going to go deeper than that. Mutant Mon is down, though there are 1,000 trades in the last 24 hours. So it just seems like that is just going to fluctuate up and down. Next up, Famous Fox Federation. They have not been on the list for volume like this in, I'd say, 5-6 months. So it is interesting to see them climb up to the top. I wonder what they have going on. Possibly I will do a dive on that tomorrow morning in the Substack, but definitely some activity. Their volume on one day is up 80%, so we do like to see it. And then the Backwoods. This is a new game. Floor price is up 42%. Volume is up 30%. Do we see this continue to rise? They're clocking it at 1.8 salamis. That is about $310. Now, I'm going back to NFTfloorprice.com, looking at the Solana ecosystem, and you can see top of the chain is run by Mad Lads. So, yeah, 100 SOL for just a pipe smoking Mad Lad. That was the number one sale in the last 24 hours. That is about $16,000. Then we've got some nice DeGods for sale for about 65 salamis, all the way down to 29 salamis on the low end of the top selling collections. Now we're going to look at the top 5 collections on Bitcoin. We have Node Monkeys, Bitcoin Puppets, Bitcoin Frogs, OMB, Quantum Cats. That is the top 5 volume movers. Interesting. So we have 2 pending. For the Node Monkeys, which is nice to see. We have 6 pending for Runestones, which is nice to see. Runestones, current floor price. We've been kind of on and off talking about this. They're about $732. They were, I don't know, about $4,500 not too long ago. So is this a time to re-enter these ecosystems? And you know what? Just because we're here And Magic Eden makes it so easy. I am going to click over to the top 100. I wish I didn't, but we did. Too late. Top 100 runes. Everything is in the red. Right? Everything. We're not even gonna mess around. There is no need messing around. But we are gonna go back to the NFT floor price. Just because I like these tabs. I like the way they have organized the top sales. So looking at the top sales on the Bitcoin ecosystem, we had OMB, 2.5 Bitcoin, $172,000 for Tony's work. We love to see it. Then we have a bunch of node monkeys, some quantum cats, some more OMBs. So these are good looking things. I am a huge fan right now of the quantum cats. I think that is a super interesting purchase with an interesting narrative that has not been watered enough to get the message out. I think there's an underlying story behind what's coming with all of that stuff, and there's not this strong message telling people what to do, but it should not be a surprise when something happens. That's how I'm looking at it. So the groundwork is been cared for, planted. We're just waiting for a good rain to make shit sprout. So I'm expecting to see something happen with the quantum cats. Do I think it's a good entry price to get in? I do. Again, I think this is one of those things that has a good, interesting narrative. Next up, I'm looking at the top 5 games. These are only blockchain games or blockchain-worthy games. So the number 1 game, as I mentioned, is Axie Infinity on the Ronin blockchain. It also has some Ethereum components. We have Pancake Protector, The New Order. We have Shrapnel, which is an awesome game. Not only is it awesome, but they are making a huge presence on X right now, so you can catch their live streaming. You can catch them on Spaces talking about the game. There are a bunch of interesting contests going on around that game, so I love to see what they're doing. And also at these IRL events, they show up and they bring creators out. So hats off to Shrapnel and what they're doing. I love to see them climbing up the leaderboard. And number 5 is Nyan Heroes on the Solana blockchain. There's some information on that about 4 days ago in my Substack. So hop in and check that out. Next up, we are going to get into some news and doing a coffee horn. All right, so before the news, we're just going to talk about the meme coins and just the massive market movers. So first up, we have volume. We have Shiba Inu, Pepe, Arbitrum, Bonk, Ondo, and Ratik Finance. Those are just moving massive amounts of volume. So like, for instance, Shiba Inu, it's only up 3% on the 24-hour, but the volume is there. The interest is there. While Pepe, it's up 12%. Pepe has just seen some really nice movement. Is it done? I don't know. At the beginning, when I talk about what the normies are looking for and what we're talking about in this space, when we have the crypto greed and fear index sit in this extreme greed zone, it means a correction is coming. So these signals, like, do we see Pepe continue to go up? I don't know. It's tough because it could also correct. So these are some of the things that I'm thinking about. These signals to me sounds like a correction is coming. That would be my guess. Looking at the top tokens that don't give a F about a correction coming. So we have a token called Heaven on Solana. Who gets a 34,000% gain in 24 hours? Like, I want to be in that group chat because I'm not. Some of these things did really well. The Harambe token on Ethereum, that just skyrocketed. So death to Harambe, death to Doge. We're losing some of our best meme coin inspirations, but the degens don't care. They are just going to keep going. You can see on the top tokens for people that are just losing their face. We have Pola, Bubba, Zach Morris, Law of Attraction, JJ, and Pampicoin as some of the biggest losers, where people probably were not super thrilled if they went to bed when they woke up this morning. So next up, top of the show, I mentioned a savvy trader who just figured out how to make a bunch of money by doing absolutely nothing. He did invest a shit ton of money. So he put about 23 million in. He decided to buy Pepe, Ondo, and Beam and did nothing. He is now sitting on about 65 million in, I don't know, just under a year. So he has strategically sat on his hands and made about $42 million. Is he out trading you? I know, it's disgusting, isn't it? Me too. Okay, Uniswap, the token is just on a tear. I do not think it is done. They had some hubbub with the SEC. The SEC saying you're in trouble. Uniswap saying go suck it, as a lot of people are starting to do with the SEC, as it seems that there is a fair amount of overreach going on by them in general. Next up, we have some analysis, and we are looking at just what is happening in the ETF world. Bitcoin, Ethereum, what's next? Solana, it's coming. People are saying it could be a while off. I do not think it will be. I think we could see, I think I am going to be an ETF next month. So these things are changing rapidly. And what is even more interesting is these will also become political pawns as we get closer to elections and November 5th. So keep that in mind. The other thing is we're going to hear a lot of talk about people flip-flopping on Bitcoin, people flip-flopping on crypto, people that have not been historically for it, all of a sudden changing their mind. The question then arises, what is their motive? Is it a politically motivated turn of events? My view on that is, who cares? As long as they make the shift. And here's what's interesting. Even if the shift is not from the heart, even if the shift is politically motivated, what is magic about crypto and Bitcoin is that even if they're doing it for votes and they begin to talk about it, at some point, this aha moment will kick in and they will realize, wow, this is absolutely the future. So I see all of these steps as we'll take it, right? So don't shit on people if they are deciding that they are now advocates of cryptocurrency. There was a period of time where most people thought it was crazy until you had your own aha moment. So whatever the reason you're having the aha moment, let them have it. Let them drink the Kool-Aid. Let them eat the pill. Let them change the world, because that is what we are talking about to me. Next up, we have Ethereum. It is struggling. According to some people think that the ETF is going to cause it to nuke. Again, there is also this, I mentioned this, that Ethereum doesn't have a tagline. It doesn't have name recognition. How do we figure that? Digital gold is taken. We need something for Ethereum just to help drive it along. Now, this is also interesting. Keep this on your radar. We have Korean regulators are now looking at some of these ETFs getting approved in some of these other cryptocurrencies, and they are deciding, wow, we are going to jump on board and honor this as well. What does the ripple effect mean? Well, it means that as one begins to initiate these ways for these assets to be traded to new sets of people, others begin to follow, and all of a sudden, trading these becomes commonplace, and that is what we want to happen. So while it seems like a lot of this stuff does happen in a silo, the building happens in a silo, but when it goes public, other people have the opportunity to see. And because it's public and open source, people are going to incorporate things that work. And again, I mentioned it with the politicians. Once you take the pill, your view and ideology on this changes drastically, and you begin to see things that you didn't understand. So it takes time for people to digest the pill. Give them time. They will come and they will be happy they did. Just, be nice when they get here. That is the other thing. Next up, we are looking at traders. Again, this is back to the Ethereum. Just that green candle that we see, people are just saying it could have a wicked reverse. What goes up must come down. I don't know. I'm still not sure exactly what is going to happen with Ethereum. I'm not going to call anything either way. I am watching cautiously at the moment. I think there is time for accumulation, in my view, before things start to really take off again. And here's interesting. So we had Elon tweet the Harambe, and I guess there was a new Harambe coin that got released on Ethereum. There was already one on Solana, but they decided to run up the Ethereum coin. And of course, I bought the Solana one, so pretty excited about that. That's how it goes. Next up, we have Jack Mallers. One, just people predicting that we are going to see Bitcoin just go to absolutely parabolic levels. We have Cathie Wood. She has changed her prediction for, I think she's talking about Bitcoin being $3 million a coin by 2030. Like that is amazing, right? That's one asset that is going to transform drastically. And analytics are showing that Bitcoin whales are starting to accumulate again, just signifying that their confidence in this is reignited and people are thinking the bottom could be in. So we like to see it. There is Harambe and Doge. They are no longer with us, as both of these meme coins have moved on to bigger and better things. There is Jack Mallers just giving us the finger. And I mentioned this at the beginning. This is, boom. Man, this is, what token is this? I'm actually going to go back and look. I'm sorry. This is the Phantom token. So there are some interesting things happening with Phantom. Guy Turner did some interesting technical analysis on Phantom. It's in my Substack. He's citing a 98% surge in this token. So in the short to medium term. So these are interesting things that, I don't know, some people think are about to absolutely explode. Phantom has been unusually quiet. And I know from an in-house side, they recently hired a new chief marketing officer. So I know that they are doing some interesting things, gearing up for, I don't know, take it as you want. People buy the rumor, sell the news. There is, I believe, news coming. So is this a rumor I'm starting? It's not even a rumor. It's happening. But it's neat to see that other people are putting some technical analysis on some of the things that I am also watching. SEC, these are the three Democrats that decided to kind of break rank and vote with some of their counterparties up on the Capitol Hill. So it is nice to see these guys. These are a young group of Democrats who are just trying to do things a different way. Jump in my Substack and read it. I'm not going to jump into it here. And the last thing I want to get into is the secret sauce for today. The only difference between ordinary and extraordinary is just a little bit. Keep going. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Remember, the rabbit hole runs deep. Still craving crypto clarity? Subscribe to my Substack today. Warning, rare bits may cause hodling.